Personality is the word commonly used to describe an individual's collection, total person, of such behavioral traits or characteristics. Let's take a look at personality and human relations. Personal style or personality is a relatively stable set of traits that aids in explaining and predicting individual behavior. As noted, individuals are all different, yet similar in many ways. Why are some people outgoing and others shy, some loud and others quiet, some aggressive and others passive? Traits are distinguishing personality characteristics. Personality development is based on genetics, experience, and environmental factors. The genes you received before you were born influence your personality traits. Your family, friends, school, and work also influence your personality. In short, personality is the sum of genetics and lifelong learning. Personality traits, however, can be changed with work. For example, people who are shy can change their thoughts and feelings to occasionally use more outgoing behaviors. A Type A personality is characterized as fast-moving, hard-driving, time-conscious, competitive, impatient, and preoccupied with work. Because a Type B personality is the opposite of Type A, often it's called laid-back or easygoing. The Type A personality is commonly associated with a high level of stress, so we discuss it further in other sections of our human relations conversation. Locus of control is a continuum representing one's belief as to whether external or internal forces control one's destiny. People with an external locus of control, externalizers, believe that they have little control over their performance and are closed to new experiences. Internalizers believe that they are in control and are open to new experiences to improve performance. Do you believe that you determine your own career success? The importance of an internal locus of control cannot be overstated. It determines your level of satisfaction with self, your stress level, and your career path. Thus, it's absolutely significant that you embrace the message that you are in control of your destiny and take responsibility for your success. If you believe that if you try hard, it doesn't matter, that you cannot be successful, you'll most likely be unhappy, give up easily, and not have a successful career. Successful people know that they are in control of their lives, and they're happy and successful because they work at it. Successful people have lots of failures, but they keep trying. The model is organized into 5 factors or dimensions, and each dimension includes multiple traits. The Big 5 model of personality categorizes traits into the dimensions of surgency, agreeableness, adjustment, conscientiousness, and openness to experience. The surgency personality dimension includes leadership and extroversion traits. People strong in leadership, more commonly called dominance, personality traits want to be in charge. They're energetic, assertive, active, and ambitious, with an interest in getting ahead and leading through competing and influencing. Unlike the surgency behavior trait of wanting to get ahead of others, the agreeableness personality dimension includes traits related to getting along with people. Agreeable personality behavior is strong when someone is called warm, easygoing, courteous, good-natured, cooperative, tolerant, compassionate, friendly, and sociable. It is weak when someone's called cold, difficult, uncompassionate, unfriendly, and unsociable. Strong agreeable personality types are sociable, spend most of their time with other people, and have lots of friends. The adjustment personality dimension includes traits related to emotional stability. Adjustment is on a continuum between emotionally stable and being emotionally unstable. Stability refers to self-control, calmness, good under pressure, relaxed, secure and positive, and a willingness to praise others. Being emotionally unstable means being out of control, poor under pressure, nervous, insecure, moody, depressed, angry and negative, and quick to criticize others. The conscientiousness personality dimension includes traits related to achievement. Conscientiousness is on a continuum between being responsible and dependable and being irresponsible and undependable. Other traits of high conscientiousness include persistence, credibility, conformity, and organization. This trait is categorized as the willingness to work hard and put in extra time and effort to accomplish the goals and achieve success. The openness to experience personality dimension includes traits related to being willing to change and try new things. People drawn in openness to experience are imaginative, intellectual, open-minded, autonomous, and creative. They seek change and they're willing to try new things, while those who are weak in this dimension avoid change and new things. Studies have shown that people from Asian, Western European, Middle Eastern, Eastern European, and North and South American cultures seem to exhibit the same 5 personality dimensions. However, some cultures do not place varying importance on different personality dimensions. Overall, the best predictor of job success on a global basis is the conscientiousness dimension. We need to be able to work well with people who have different perspectives than ours. To improve our human relations, it's helpful for us to adjust our behavior based on the other person's personality type, especially our bosses, because they evaluate our performance, which affects our career. The MBTI model of personality identifies your personality preferences. It's based on 4 preferences or inclinations for certain ways of thinking and behaving. There are actually multiple forms of the MBTI for various uses. For more information about the MBTI and to complete a more detailed assessment for free, visit its website at myersbriggs.org. Stress is an emotional and physical reaction to environmental activities and events. People react to external stimuli internally, or it's an interpersonal skill. Stress is an emotional and physical reaction to environmental activities and events. Stress helps improve performance by challenging and motivating us. In fact, many people perform best under some pressure. Situations in which too much pressure exists are known as stressors. Stressors are situations in which people feel anxiety, tension, and pressure. Too much stress affects your behavior, human relations, and performance. Stress depletes your energy, weakens your brain and relationships, and can cause aging and weight gain, weaknesses in your immune system, and can ruin your sleep and make you ill. It can even be the cause of death. There are 4 common stressors related to work. The degree to which stressors affect us is caused in part by our personality type. Since stress comes from within, the things we do can cause us stress. There are type A and type B personalities. People with type A personalities have more stress than people with type B personalities. If you have a type A personality, you could end up with some problems associated with stress. The amount of cooperation, the level of motivation, and the overall morale in an organization affect stress levels. The more positive the organizational climate and work culture, the less stress there is. Calm, participative management styles produce less stress. Tight control through autocratic management tends to create more stress. Some bosses use awful behavior. Some are even abusive and has caused stress to the point of driving employees to quit their jobs. People who enjoy their jobs and derive satisfaction from them handle stress better than those who do not. In some cases, a change of jobs is a wise move that can lower or get rid of some of your stressors. People who focus in the positives in their jobs are happier than those who focus on the negative aspects of the job. Some of the immediate signs of stress are an increase in the rate of breathing, sweating, change in appetite, and acne. When you continue to look at the clock or the calendar, feel pressured, and fear that you will not meet a deadline, you're experiencing stress. People often lose interest in and motivation to do their work because of stress. Stress is a constant, chronic, and severe that can lead to burnout over a period of time. Burnout is the consistent lack of interest and motivation to perform one's job because of stress. People sometimes experience temporary burnout during busy periods, as is the case when students are studying for exams and retailers are trying to cope with the holiday shopping season. The use of stress controlling techniques can often prevent stress and burnout and increase productivity. You can better control steps by following a three-stage plan. The controlling stress plan includes Step 1, identify stressors, Step 2, determine their cause and consequences, and Step 3, plan to eliminate or decrease the stress. Below are 5 ways you can help eliminate or decrease stress. Exercise. Exercise is an excellent way to release tension and reduce weight. Aerobic exercises that increases the heart rate and maintains that rate for 30 minutes or more for at least 3 or more days per week is generally considered the best type of exercise. Nutrition. Good health is essential to everyone, and nutrition is a major factor in your health. When you eat, take your time because rushing is stressful and leads to overeating. Try to minimize your intake of junk food containing high levels of salt, sugar, and white flour. Relaxation. Get enough rest and sleep. Most adults require 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night. Our brains don't work effectively without enough sleep, and we make poor decisions. Positive thinking. Be optimistic and stay positive. Make statements to yourself in the affirmative, such as, I will do it. Be patient, honest, and realistic. We all need people we can depend on. That's what a support system is all about. Have family and friends you can go to for help with your problems. Remember that what you think about affects how you feel, and how you feel affects your behavior, human relations, and performance. An offshoot of IQ is EQ, known as emotional quotient or emotional intelligence or EI, which is clearly related to the adjustment Big Five personality dimension. EI is all about working well with people. The good news is that EI is a learned competence, so you can improve your EI by working at it. EI is part of multiple intelligences. It's often been said that IQ gets you the job and EQ gets you promoted. There are 5 components of EI: self-awareness, being conscious of your emotions within you, your gut feelings, managing emotions, not letting your emotions getting in the way of getting the job done, motivating yourself, being optimistic despite obstacles, setbacks, and failure, and empathy, putting yourself in someone else's situation and understanding that person's emotions, as well as social skills to build relationships and respond to emotions and influence others. Remember that what you think about affects how you feel, and how you feel affects your behavior, human relations, and performance. So think happy, confident thoughts to help you stay calm and in control of your emotional behavior. However, we have different preferred learning styles. People learn based on 2 personality dimensions or types: feeling versus thinking, and doing versus observing. Even though you have a preferred learning style, you can't always use it. If an instructor spends more time completing skill-building exercises, some people will be using their preferred learning style and using their feelings or thoughts when being actively involved. On the other hand, if an instructor spends more time lecturing on material and showing films, others will be using their preferred learning style while emphasizing feelings or thinking. Your instructor's preferred learning style will most likely influence the way he or she teaches a course. There's no best learning style. Each has its pros and cons. You'll probably realize that you have one preferred learning style, but also have characteristics of other styles as well. People with similar personalities and learning styles tend to get along better than those who have different. I think the most important skill that college provides is the ability to continuously learn. Do not view your education as being over when you get your degree, however. Graduation commencement actually means the beginning, not the end. Much of what you will do on the job in the future will be learned at work. Never stop learning. Admitting you don't know something and asking questions is not a sign of weakness. Successful people are lifelong learners. Everyone you meet in your personal and professional lives knows more about something than you do, so get them to pass that knowledge on to you. As we work with individuals and in groups on the job, we're both teaching and learning as we share knowledge. Combined, we get organizational learning, and companies that intentionally focus on sharing knowledge are called learning organizations. Learning organizations cultivate the capacity to learn, adapt, and change with the environment to be innovative. The learning organization focuses on improving learning and determining how knowledge is circulated throughout the organization. Learning from mistakes and failure to continuously improve performance is critical. The learning organization questions old beliefs and ways of doing things, yet it makes the learning and change process as painless as possible. Our personalities, stress, and intelligence affect how we see the world. And our perceptions affect our behavior, human relations, and performance, in which in turn affect others. The term perception refers to a person's interpretation of reality. In the perception process, you select, organize, and interpret stimuli through your senses. Your perception is influenced by heredity and experience. Notice that the definition of perception refers to the interpretation of reality. In human relations, perception is just as important as reality. Ever hear that there are always two sides to every story? It starts with the way each person perceives the event in the first place, then how and what they remember. Some of the biases affecting perception can hinder communications and lead to conflict, which include stereotypes, frames of reference, expectations, selective exposure, and interest. Consider the bias of stereotyping, which is the process of generalizing the behavior of all members of a group. Stereotypes are drawn along all kinds of lines, including race, religion, nationality, and gender. Yes, we all stereotype people as a way of quickly perceiving a person's behavior. Avoid stereotypes. Consistently attempt to get to know people as individuals rather than a stereotype. Our frame of reference is our tendency to see things from a narrow focus that directly affects us. It's common for employees and management to perceive the same situation from different frames of reference. Do you always see things the same as management or your parents and agree with them? To be effective in our human relations, we should try to perceive things from the other person's frame of reference and be willing to work together for the benefit of all parties to create a win-win situation. What we expect often influences our perceptions of what we see and experience. We have expectations of others in relationships. When they do things that we don't like or expect, we have human relations problems. We tend to see and hear what we want to. People sometimes selectively pick information they want to hear and ignore information they don't want to hear. What interests you also affects how you perceive and approach things. Have you ever taken a course and not liked it while others in the class thought it was great? The difference in perception may be due to different levels of interest in the subject. The term perceptual congruence refers to the degree to which people see things the same way. When people perceive things the same way, it generally has positive consequences in the organization. However, perception biases also can result in lower performance. Employees who perceive management as supportive are generally happier with their jobs. We tend to believe that our perception is reality and the other party's perception is wrong. Remember, people will behave according to their perception, not yours. Thus, it's important to realize that people often see things differently than you do. We should realize that it matters how others perceive us. When people meet, they form quick impressions of each other. Social psychologists call this process the primary effect. The primary effect is the way people perceive one another during their first impressions. The first impressions establish the mental framework within which people view one another, which affect the development of their relationship, so first impressions do matter quite a bit. The 4-minute barrier is the time we have to make a good first impression. It is called the 4-minute cell because it's the average time during which people make up their minds to continue the contact or separate during social situations. Have you ever disliked someone as a result of the first impressions that linger to the present time? On the other hand, can you recall meeting someone you disliked at first, but once you got to know the person, you changed your impression? First impressions usually linger, but they can be changed. Our image is other people's attitudes towards us. Professional image is the total of others' perceptions of our competence and character in the workplace, which is needed to achieving social approval, power, and career success. Image can be thought of as being on a continuum from positive to negative. Impression or image management are the techniques used to control how we're perceived by monitoring how you are perceived to develop, control, and maintain positive relations with others. Our image is developed by our appearance, nonverbal communications, the behavior we can manage to project as a positive image. When people first see you, before you can do or say anything, they begin to develop their first impressions. If people don't like the way you look, your clothes, hairstyle, or grooming, they may not give you the opportunity to show who you really are. Your facial expressions, eye contact, and handshake all project your image, as does the tone and volume of your voice. Facial expressions convey feelings more accurately than words. One of the guidelines of human relations is to smile. When you first meet someone, eye contact is very important. If you don't look people directly in the eye, they may assume that you don't like them, you're not listening, or that you're not a trusting individual. In many interactions, the handshake is used. Your handshake can convey a warm yet strong person. Your handshake is judged on 5 factors: firmness, dryness, duration, interlock, and eye contact. After people notice your appearance and nonverbal expressions, they observe your behavior. Remember that what you think affects how you feel, and how you feel affects your behavior, human relations, and performance.